consistently now by the shockwaves. These are one of the cons that happen when you take that high ground, because you don't get the pleasures of looting the players you drop, right? Just like that. All that loot's gone. They actually can't use it.
Every time you hear a shockwave, you'll see these players snap and look up in the air to see if they can try and find who's on the fly. In case you have free shots, as that elimination is secured. Mitro picking up a knock on Falconly in the feed. Another one for the trio. 7 remaining. I've got to say, if this is not a win for this team, I don't know what is.
It's going to be a close one. Mongo actually did not have any more AR left in his gun. There's no more RPG left here. It's a straight-up shotgun battle. This is a crucial elim. And that's going to be some of the resources they need to hold this high ground here. And it looks like it's cutting back across. So lucky for them, they're going to be able to kind of reuse some of their resource here. We have a couple players left in the game here. Red Rush in the low ground. Shotgun and Cow as well. Here's Mitro just raining fire. That tax of SMG so good for shredding through builds right here. And honestly, they can pierce through the turbos like right there. The shots. Good pressure right here from Mitro, putting down the fire, putting all the ammunition to use here. We're almost in the final zone now. This is it. Storm Zone 9. The close in will happen. Looks like Benji Fishy's going to go for that high ground. You saw him elevate himself right there. So he's going to get out of the harm's way of the shockwave, and Mitro's going to stay down here and just get down and dirty with the TAC SMG right now, Lupo.
You have to remember at the last set of placements here, the points really kick up as you go from 5th to 4th and 3rd to 2nd, and then the victory royale. So every time you see a player go down, like right there, the 4 trios remaining get even more points. As soon as one more trio goes down, we'll get a 1st and 2nd, and that's it. And we're down to the very last second here, the spray from above. This, honestly, as soon as we got to top 40, this was Mongrel, Mitro, Benji Fishy, all the way to the end. No surprise here.
And a monstrous 12 elim game right there. And you saw, even in the final moments, they did try to drop a couple of medium bullets there. But with that, we're going to send it over to the studio with Zeke and Sundown. What do you have for us, guys?
Oh, man. MSC starting off the day strong. We are one step closer to Shio eating an entire jar of mayonnaise.
It's escalated because he said cup, but we really didn't define cup. Some people was like, it's a standard measuring cup, and someone was like, honestly, it should be a World Cup. I was actually just back in the kitchen looking to see if we could find any mayo. I'm gonna have to make a run tomorrow because after that last game, it was just incredible. So that is 2 matches down in the heat. Let's take a look first at the standings and see where we're at after the first 2 games, because, that's weird. Who's that up top?
This might as well just be Shio, eat mayonnaise.
I mean,
I think
so
it
the
reads.
one thing, and we saw they had a number of elims. They were in actually 4th place after the first match, but then the 12 elim plus the victory royale, Zeke talking about it, every single one of those being a point, and then the victory royale being 15 as well, pushing them up to 38. They're already 7 points clear of Falcony, Robabs, and the Vic, who've been playing very well. 19 elims there is pushing them 5 points clear of Amplify, Miro, and Mapso, who had an incredible first game. I mean, it's been an... Oh.
I just want to throw out a quick little apology. Based on score, I had assumed that because Matsoi, Miro, and Amplify had first place, that they had the victory royale. They, in fact, did not. So my apologies. All we were given was placement on the screen. That's my bad. Back to you.
We got to keep him honest, and we love him very much. But don't forget, the top 8 are moving on from this heat. So right now, you must be this tall to ride. So we're looking at just top 8 the points. 18, that's just like, a victory royale is worth 15 points in and of itself. So even if you get the victory royale with 3 eliminations, you can now look to strike up in the top 8. So, and we're only in the 2nd game. We're about to head into game number 3. What does it spell for like all of these other teams?
Yeah, you just have to stay consistent. You have to not fear. If you have a couple of bad games, that's okay. If you're able to get in, get situated, get a couple of eliminations, get some plays from the side. As you can see right now, to be on the first page, it's 11 points up there. But one thing I do want to take a look at here is some of the gameplay that came out from Mongrel, Mitro, and Benji. They were able to play so well, and Lupo even hinted at it, saying at around like top 40 or so, you could kind of smell that they were going to have that victory out. And had they were going to get high ground, they had everything they needed. It's like, oh, this looks like it's going to be a win from them. Let's hop on in and see how they're able to execute and get this done. And one thing you'll note is when they are on high ground, they're so incredibly disciplined with their angles. They're constantly looking around, adjusting, putting rockets towards their opponents, and then keeping control, working with each other to make sure that they're finding the right target targets. I mean, Mongrel's aim on people who are in the air, honestly, you'd think he's using a controller, the way these players just get beamed as they come through, but no, it is just his amazing bro. Just as Mitra would say, that's crazy. They are running it through 38 points up top, and again, always on the high ground. And for me, that's what's so impressive. In a meta where there's so many RPGs, so many shockwaves, the way they're able to not only get initial control, but then run the rest of the lobby without having to drop down and putting themselves in bad situations. They were never threatened. Count the number of times in this clip that bullets or anything are being shot back towards them. Everyone else is so focused on just trying to rotate and avoid damage from above that these guys don't have to do really anything in terms of defensive play, and they can just like it was just going to be a win. And honestly, I want to bring this all the way back to Beast talking about the retail drop spot and how you're being central to it. They have so many at their disposal. Ammunition, to excess shield, to having enough mats because they had rotations early on to hold the high ground. It just makes it so easy and so clinical. And I promise, if you are a trio or you're just interested in competitive Fortnite and getting better, go and load up these guys' server replays. Watch them play. Check them out on their socials. You might want to actually mute their streams every now and then because they can get a little loud on the comms. Ballas does a great job breaking that one down. And let's actually take a look at page 2 of the standings because, as we talked about, in the heat formats, the 32 teams in each one of the heats. You need to be 5% in order to advance. In Europe, every single one of these guys is impressive, but they're all capable of stringing together a couple of good runs. You have 6 games, a third of them are down. You're now into kind of like the meat of it. In the next 2 games, you don't want to fall out early. So expect to see some intense battles early on and maybe a little bit more passive play kind of in the mid game because people don't want to get dropped out. You don't want it to be a third game and then fall out and realize, oh, we're that much more off the pace. Now we really need to be pressing forward. I think you'll start seeing aggression in games 5 and 6, 3 and 4. They're going to be playing a little bit more like me, hanging out, just being like, oh, there's people over there? No, I'm good.
So not like me, who does not even play. Got it. Yeah, we'll have to see how things go because, again, like Sunan said, you have to be top 8 if you want to move on to grand finals. So for a lot of these teams, I think we're going to see that, though. Maybe even some teams that are even on, say, page 3, they want to try and make top 8. So they might just say, look, we're going to contest MMB at retail. Let's just go for it. We have 6 games. Let's try it once. If it doesn't work out, we'll change up the plan, but I know, that's a tall order. I'm a winner.
I wouldn't say, like, so retail loot is strong. But there's a reason why you see the most dominant teams kind of staking their ground in retail, because it's like, come and challenge us if you want, because if anything, that benefits us more. We're confident that we can take those early game fights with you. Like, if you want to split and try and do the blacktop houses, like, that's fine. These guys will end up running at you. They will take the challenge because for them, like, they see 50 pots, and they see points on the leaderboard. They see ways to climb this way up. No, it's serious. That's how MMB, that's how Volks and them, that's what they look at retail as. If you want to come there that confident, so in the first hanging around off this page, if you're not in direct contention, you might think, man, I'm struggling right now. Like, we really need to get into it, but in reality, you're able to string together 1 or 2 strong games, or even a victory royale right now would put you through, right? Yeah. And any of these guys are capable of winning one of these games, so I think they can do it, but it's all about keeping a strong mental game as you're going through.
It's tough, man. I mean, as much as I want to see Shy eat a jar of mayo, it would be kind of cool to have a new trio come up and, you know, dethrone MMB. I am about that, but it's just going to be a lot about mental game, you know, like you're saying. If you start to a little bit, that's going to affect your potential placement in top 8. We'll have to see, though. I'm getting a little too excited, Fortnite fam. I want to see more of this. But yeah, look, I think we're getting ready. Battle Bus, the players are boarding. We'll be there in just a moment. I think we have a package here in just a moment. But what do you think, man? So, do you Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
It's different heats. It's
different heat.
This
There
is just heat 1. So,
which brings me
again,
to my
just
next
people, a little too excited here. There are 4 heats coming through in Europe. 8 teams will be advancing and going on. And the way you're able to kind of score and work your way up is tippity top, right? This is the top 0.01%. Right? So the best of the best and the people who are very able to like against these guys. So like they're able to elevate their game. There's a reason we all think Mitro, Mongo, and Benji have done it. There are repeated trios who have shown they're consistently stronger and that's much better than the are, right? It's going and looking at and breaking it down. On our end, we'll go talk to the bus driver, try and get that going. You guys take your bio breaks, whatever you need. We'll be right back.
We're going to be trying to get more acquainted with the world of competitive Fortnite. Today, we're going to be discussing the 3 different stages of a competitive Fortnite game. The early game, the mid game, and the late game. And what different players have as their goals during these stages in order to achieve the ultimate goal, the Victory Royale. Let's start with the early game. Also called the looting phase, this is where all players are attempting to secure their chosen landing spot and their potential. To not waste a game by being eliminated early. Do you drop at a high loot POI like Retail Row or Paradise Palms? Or land at a safer POI on the edge of the map? Less players drop with less loot. Regardless, the goal is common. Whether you take a passive approach by looting safely on the side of the map, or an aggressive and risky approach by letting others loot for you, elimination. Now that we know what the early players make from landing, upcoming. Either they have to make a desperation push, or they're stuck with less loot where you can easily clean up. That's just the beginning, as even though it starts off high intensity with all the different POIs being contested, looting doesn't end here, and most competitive players will have a loot which optimizes their possibility for finding the crucial mobility and weapon upgrades. Thanks to the new battle map feature in the replay mode, we can study these loot paths and rotations quite easily these days. So go check that out on any replay from the Fortnite Champion Series by going into the Compute tab and finding your favorite player. It will vary from game to game, but generally, we're moving the mid-game around the middle to end of second zone. The mid-game is the calm before the storm. Before the storm circle gets too small, where it forces the engagements. Most players' goals aren't positional, but in some cases, depending on how the early game went, you have to strike a balance, this time between looting and farming, or going for the best position. Playing extremely aggressive to win yourself with other players' loot. In trios, it's much harder to play that aggressive playstyle, since fights take longer and cost more. You'll want to be efficient in positions or fights you have to win. You don't want to spend your precious mobility, valuable resources, or health. This is why you'll see a lot of the top players look directly for the zone in the mid-game. When you're in the center zone, you end up giving yourself the most chance of being in the next storm circle when it gets revealed. And then after the end game, a difficult part of the game. It's confusing and hard to process. Fun times to play and watch. Take all the advantages you built in the early game and the mid-game, use them to push yourself to a victory royale, and also find as many eliminations as possible. In the current Fortnite Champion Series format, every elimination matters, just like the game was set. Mobility usage and shots being fired, you'll see teams go for the ever so advantageous high ground, where they can tunnel very cheaply and have the most opportunity on the rest of the server for elimination, because they have the top-down view. You'll also see teams call out the need to find a good layer, which is away from other players, both above, below, and horizontally from you. You'll see teams desperate for the extra materials to last them through to